The narrative you see in headlines today, of billions spent and global stars recruited, is only the final chapter. To truly understand the power of the Saudi Pro League, you must understand where it came from. Not long ago, the SPL was a domestic affair, built on regional rivalries and local passion, largely ignored by the international football world. Its stadiums were modest, its revenues restricted, and its greatest ambition was simply to maintain its domestic leagues. Yet, within a decade, that league went from a regional curiosity to a genuine global competitor, culminating in the most definitive confrontations against the world's elite. This monograph investigates the history, the infrastructure, and the strategic shift that created the most sudden and impactful transformation in modern football history, analyzing the psychological causes, the transfer market dynamics, and the systemic consequences. To understand the systemic consequences of this revolution, we must first look at the foundation built beneath the surface. The Public Investment Fund, PIF, did not invest in a vacuum. Long before the world noticed the Saudi Pro League, SPL, the Saudi government was aggressively investing in the foundational structure of the sport: world-class academies, massive new stadium construction, and the development of the Saudi Vision 2030. This systemic groundwork was crucial. The PF's acquisition of 4 major clubs in 2023 was the culmination of a deliberate, decade-long strategy to professionalize and modernize the game from the ground up, moving away from fragmented ownership into a managed corporate entity. This long-term, calculated approach ensured that when the talent finally arrived, the professional environment was ready to host global competition. The transformation redefined the transfer market dynamics not just for the players acquired, but for the entire global economy. European clubs had been constrained by financial reality. Every euro spent had a cost, interest, and amortization. The PF, however, operates with a currency that has no internal risk: state ambition. The arrival of Cristiano Ronaldo in late 2022 was the ultimate pivot point. Ronaldo's presence immediately raised the league's visibility 100-fold, creating a global marketing platform that no other league had achieved so quickly. This allowed the PIF clubs to bypass typical financial constraints and directly enter negotiations with elite European talent, not just with money, but with proof that the league was a viable next stage. This mechanism, using one megastar to validate the entire platform, is what allowed the subsequent surge of prime talent to follow, instantly disrupting the established European market pricing. The resulting chaos during the summer of 2023 was a textbook case of market manipulation. Prices for any target player in Europe jumped by 20 to 50%, driven up by the implicit threat of Saudi interest, forcing European clubs to wildly overspend. This created an artificial, unsustainable premium on every asset. This systematic disruption broke the foundational logic of FFP and competitive spending, as European teams found themselves competing against an entity whose financial constraints simply did not exist. The most compelling proof of this strategic investment is seen in their performance on the global stage. While the SPL still trails the top elite leagues, the competitive success of Al Hilal in the expanded 2025 FIFA Club World Cup was the moment the world had to stop and acknowledge the threat. Al Hilal, with its mixture of elite foreign talent and seasoned local players, was drawn against some of the biggest names in Europe. Their crowning achievement came during the knockout stage. They delivered the tournament's biggest shock, defeating European powerhouse Manchester City 4-3 in a pulsating round of 16 match. This result, a definitive win over a reigning European champion, cemented their place at the elite table. This CWC performance validated the strategic spending and showed the world that the SPL was capable of producing football worthy of the world's most watched stage. This success has triggered a major shift in psychological causes, both for the local players and the global audience. For local Saudi players, the competitive expectation has skyrocketed. They are no longer competing against their neighbors. They are training daily alongside World Cup winners and Champions League legends, forcing an immediate, necessary raise in individual skill and professional mindset. For the global audience, the psychological barrier of dismissing the SPL as a retirement league is slowly crumbling. Watching these teams compete successfully against global champions has changed the perception from passive curiosity to genuine competitive respect. The goal of soft power is achieved by forcing the world to acknowledge the competitive quality of the product. This transformation, from a small, domestic league to a force capable of defeating a European champion on the CWC stage, is truly unprecedented in modern history. It is a story not just of money, but of calculated, relentless execution of a decades-long strategic plan. The SBL's rise proves that when systemic planning, market leverage, and psychological ambition align, the most rigid structures in global sport can be overhauled almost overnight. The history of the SBL is the history of controlled, targeted revolution. If you enjoyed unlocking the real story behind football's history, then you belong here. Don't miss the next video. Hit that subscribe button now and turn on notifications so you can join the football community. Thank you for watching.